Tommy.
This is Nick.
This is Terod.
We are TNT.
The anime coverage.
The anime coverage.
And this week on the anime coverage, we are going to be going over support items for My Hero.
Yes.
Support items, costumes, weapons, tools, stuff like that.
Anything that helps out the heroes, and or villains.
Yeah. What Nick just said. So, what a support item is basically let's think of Batman real quick. Is utility belt support item.
Yeah, basically it's in My Hero it's gonna be an item that either helps contain, control, or direct someone's quirk, either due to needing the extra help or needing help to use the quirk. Like can't stop shining.
Can't stop twinkling.
Twinkling, sorry. Yes, his main support item is his belt, which actually helps contain his naval laser. You have Bakugo's gauntlets.
Grenadier bracers. Bakugo's gauntlets are called Grenadier bracers. This is a specification that was added to Katsuki's hero costume, which stores his sweat to amplify the power and effect of explosions to their fullest potential.
Yes.
Once filled, he could pull all the grenade pin to release a massive, powerful explosion. The aforementioned blast was powerful enough to nearly destroy a building Katsuki was fighting Izuku during a battle trial.
Yes.
So it's basically just like a storage device for his sweat.
Yeah, it's like a one-off.
So, because Katsuki's Bakugo's power is he's creating nitroglycerin sweat. We'll be right back. And we're back. Alright, sorry. Technical difficulties.
Yeah, in the studio, not with our stuff, but in the studio we're using.
No, go ahead.
As we were saying, we were talking about Bakugo's gauntlets and everything. There have been multiple mentions of support items we don't really see. Right now, the two big people that we see building the support items or have built support items for our heroes have been Mei Hatsumi, who's a first year in the support department.
Yes.
She mainly focuses on Izuku.
Yes, because she likes him.
Yeah.
Well, I would say like him. He needs a lot of support items.
Well, I think she views him as a friend.
And a business tool.
Yes. And then the only other one we've seen actually create support items that have been actually used on film has been in the movie, the first one they did of Island with David Shield and Melissa Shield, who was... David was father and daughter, yes.
Top scientist or top engineer?
Top
on
scientist.
Island.
Yeah. Not only that, he was also one of the first few people they mentioned being partnered with All Might as All Might's original support tech.
Yeah, when they was in the academy.
No, afterwards.
Oh, that was after? I thought they was in the movie. They was going to class. They had stopped that first villain in the movie in the automobile. He had stopped class before they had went to.
I'm pretty sure it was that they.
No, they was in UA.
No, they were in America.
They was in America. They weren't in UA. That's to say, but
Yeah.
he was in school.
I didn't think he was. I think it was because it was after UA because
All Might said in the movie, he said
he graduated.
we're gonna be late to class. You always make us late to class. That's what David
Oh.
Shield told him. Yeah, when he jumped out because he was like, we don't need to stop every fight. And then David Shield was like, All Might was like, well, I'm a hero.
And, yeah, we're back.
Yep. So we're back, and I'm dying over here. So
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
So, go back. One of the newest add-ons for a support item is called Air Force Gloves, which is used by Izuku Midoriya, which was created by Mei Hatsumi. Basically, his support gloves, created by Mei for due to the costume and be questioned and upgraded prior to unlocking over 20% of All For One, his quirk. Let's see. They help him they have like shock absorbers in the gloves, so when he uses his power to shoot out Air Force, it doesn't break his fingers or hands.
Yes. Yeah, it was first introduced in the sports festival Hang on.
There. So with the Air Force gloves, he can create projected air blast. Was this
Just of one, yeah. Like I was saying, it was first introduced in his fight with Gentle Criminal during the UA.
festival? UA festival.
For Yuri? Festival.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not the sports festival. It's the festival held afterwards, or the end of the year festival that they do. Where they do the where each class does the showcase.
Yeah, showcase. Kind of like a regular school, you know. It's still a class, still school, so.
We got this other one here, which is used by Shinzo. It's called artificial vocal cords. So his quirk is brainwash. How his quirk works is if he asks you a question, and if you answer him in any way with voice, then you're brainwashed. So what this does for him is it makes him be able to augment his voice into a different person's voice. Sorry. So it augments him to a different person's voice. So he could be talking like Midoriya, or he could talk like
Oh, that's
Eraserhead, or anybody. Basically, it's a voice changer.
Yeah.
Pretty much what it is. That helps him out because if he can get your voice and augment it to that your partner's voice, and your partner
answers it.
you think your partner's talking, and you answer your partner, now you're brainwashed.
One of the big downsides, though, is he does have to hear the voice.
Yes.
Because he has to change it to hit that frequency.
Yep.
Shinzo not only uses that, but he also uses another sport item, which is actually showcased by Eraserhead himself. The homeroom teacher for 1A, his capture scarf.
Yeah.
I was wondering what that was called.
Which is a flexible, strong scarf
Capture wearing weapon.
that he uses to capture villains. Because his quirk, if you didn't know, is erase. Basically, everything outside of mutation quirks he can nullify. So when he goes up against somebody with a mutation quirk, he is essentially fighting quirkless.
Wow.
Yes.
That makes way more sense.
Yes.
Because you can't, it's not something you activate, it's a mutation.
So, put in context, while he'd be able to raise Pinky's ability to use her acid, he wouldn't be able to raise her pink skin or horns.
Yes. So Eraser's weapon, and Shinzo's weapon, is a cloth made from steel wire alloy woven with carbon nanofibers. Which carbon nanofibers or carbon nanotubes are the strongest material known to man so far.
Wow.
They're, I think, like 100 times stronger than steel at hundreds of the weight.
Wow.
Because
That's really strong.
they're nano. Yeah.
I mean, you could tell that they was really strong though when they was fighting when Todoroki and Yayuzo was fighting Eraserhead, and they made them freeze to steel rods when they was fighting them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
We got targets, which Dinky or Charge Bolt uses. He shoots these targets off through his wrist blaster.
Yes, he's one that would use it as support items to help direct it.
Yeah.
Because his is more of a AOF, an area of effect.
okay, so it's like an output. It's not really a. You can't shoot it. He can't like shoot out his finger a charge bolt at somebody like that, right?
I think he can produce small amounts of electricity.
Okay.
But when he uses it, it's always been in a outward
Okay.
blast.
Okay.
And one thing is, I think sooner or later with him, they're going to get some sort of type of circuit breaker or something to help with him. Because when he does it, it messes with his functions because it messes with electric impulses
inside of
in
his
our
body.
system,
Okay.
or in his body. So,
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. What's that belly thing that the one dude got?
the navel laser.
Supported-
Naval laser.
Yeah,
It helps to. So it's a
Points?
big metal belt that Can't Stop Twinkling uses, and it helps
Yes.
project his naval laser out without it just leaking out all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because his is so unstable that actually helps keep it in a usable condition.
Oh.
So if you didn't know, when he was doing the entrance exams, he was actually allowed to use his belt because it is actually a item he needed to properly use it.
Right. Okay. They did say that.
Another one is Redestro's Claustro armor, which helps to make his stress level higher to help make use power more
Yeah,
terrifying.
isn't he that the meme with Doofenshmirtz?
Yeah.
I haven't gotten that far yet,
Oh, what? Oh, yeah.
so
Yeah, read Destro. He's something.
I know a little bit about him. But yeah,
I wonder who Destro. What he got to do with the story. Or if he was just filling
it
things.
was his. So what I know of is the Metal Liberation Army is actually like a second generation.
Right, from Destro, right?
Yeah, Destro was the original one who wrote a manifest stating that meta abilities did not need to be policed,
Right.
that they should just be used
Freely.
freely. Now, in that, those who have stronger meta abilities are the ones who should be ruling. The ones that weaker ones are below them. The ones who I think they call them nulls
Yeah.
or forkless are nothing more than
Nothing.
nothing. They're nothing. So if if someone with super strength back hands a
No.
null and kills them, there's nothing. No,
They just, they shouldn't have
just-
been a no.
yeah, it's just okay, whatever. He was a null.
Okay.
So yeah, that's basically what his was.
Then we got Sir Night-Eye's hyperdensity seals, which are
Which they
stamps.
disapproved, which to actually work in the real world.
Disproved. Approved them.
No, disapproved.
Disapproved.
Because you can't get something that weighs that much the ways his does.
That's small.
That's small.
Which, let's
Because his
not the real world, it's anime.
Well, yeah.
So yeah,
I'm saying.
ha ha ha.
But yeah, they're like that big. I know you guys can't see.
They're like
Yeah.
3 inches tall. And they're literally, if you think of a stamp, that's what it is. It's a stamp. Because in Japan, instead of signing their names, they have their name stamps.
Yeah.
That's what they have. They use stamps to sign their names.
Yeah, it's to help with. Only in certain cases they still.
They still can't sign their name.
Yeah, they
yes.
still can, but it's language barriers, Mandarin, all that
It's
stuff.
mainly used by corporates who have to sign their name a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, and then we got
Mike.
President Mike's directional speaker system. His quirk is called voice, which means he could scream and just level up town or something. So it basically it amplifies it and direction makes it so he can go in a certain direction.
If you
Decrease
don't
the value.
understand that, just think of Black Canary.
Yes, exactly.
I'm sure that's probably where they got their inspiration from.
Yeah.
And then from him you have Jiro,
Jiro.
or headphone jacks,
Which she got what?
her speakers in her feet, which she uses her earphone jacks to actually send out her heartbeats.
Oh, so she okay. I was wondering how they did that. And
And
then
she
once
has
you
speakers in her feet that she hooks her jacks to that.
shoot the shockwaves and stuff. Okay. Yeah, that was awesome. I like
Then
those.
we got Eraserhead's goggles. So his goggles, yeah, they're kind of playing it, but what they do is they hide his line of sight, making it harder for multiple enemies to predict who he'll be targeting next, so he erase their quirks.
Yeah, but the thing is with those, I'm sure with Hatsune or even Power Loader, which is the support department's ahead.
Oh, I bet he can make better goggles to keep his eyes
He
watered.
make some goggles that keep his eyes-
Moisturize them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
moisturize.
highlight some.
Because that'd
drops in there.
be,
That'd be
once
awesome.
you realize it causes your eyes to go dry, you would want a support item that would help with that.
Right. Not just to stop the line of sight.
Well, it's not so much to stop the line of sight; it's to stop people. It's like a
from
one-way
seeing.
mirror.
Yeah.
So he can see out, but they can't.
They can't see in. So
they
it's
can't-
like, but having something that can do that and,
But
moisturize your eyes at the same time, that would greatly make his.
But the thing is with him, I know we're going off on a tangent a little. He has a tail of his hair flown up, and they showcase that in the USJ arc.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
We got, let's see, we got Izuku's Iron Souls, which what they do is they allow Izuku to use his shoot style without breaking his legs.
And also,
Nick is literally dying.
no, I just got a cough, and
he's dying.
every so often I cough up phlegm.
Flatline.
gotta,
And I gotta spit it out. So
gotta spit it
I,
out so you don't keep
Yeah.
coughing.
So Izuku's Iron Souls, one, are puncture proof, and they also have like a shock in them, so it springs back when he kicks, so it's like a double kick. But what that helps is it helps him from breaking his legs when he kicks people, because he is so powerful.
And then just think about getting kicked with an iron saw
Oh,
on top of all
steel
that.
toe boots.
It's not nice. Not nice at all.
Let's see, we got this person's taser knuckle,
There's your knuckle.
which is used by the vigilante knuckle duster.
Vigilante.
The taser knuckle is an electricity-based weapon that can also be used in combat as a pair of regular brass knuckles, but with some shocking side effects. Bum, bum, ba-dum. Basically, I'm gonna punch you and shock you at the same time.
Which is just like a taser.
Yeah.
So did Todoroki just not get a support item? Or what did he do?
Totoro, so his support item is kind of like he got these little capsules on his belt that are full of like first aid stuff, which support him.
Which is
when he-
natural, but there are some heroes that actually don't use support items. One of the big ones, if you didn't know, is All Might. He really doesn't have a support item per se that
He did use one at one point. He tried to. I don't remember. I don't think he ever had a name. But back when he was younger,
They say he
all
had
the
to go-
support items are kind of big and bulky, so it kind of just slowed him down.
Yeah. Well, still, in general, he
Is the All-Mobile a support item or is that just some...
it's transport.
Okay.
So it can technically classify as a
Support item, but
support
when
item,
he can jump fast.
another one that really doesn't use support items, but at the exact same time has a support item, is Endeavor.
Okay.
And when I say by that, I mean it's
That why that
his suit.
fire when he in his suit? That,
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So is his suit his support item?
yeah.
Okay.
So there is.
Is it a regulator?
I don't know if it's a regulator, but I know there's I don't know if it's a theory or if it's been confirmed that there is what's known as DNA fiber that they can use to help people with unique quirks.
Like Lemillion's costume is made out of
Yes.
hair.
Yeah.
Lemillion or Miro
Miro.
is his
Okay.
entire costume is made out of his own hair.
Well, it has his hair fiber in it
Hair
to
fiber.
be able to properly use his
So
quirk
that
power.
what
yeah.
his quirk is permeation, which means he can pop through walls or stuff like that, or the
Basically,
ground
he can
itself.
phase through stuff, and if he didn't have it, he'd be running around naked.
I was
Yeah.
still finna say, wouldn't he just run through a wall and his suit behind him?
Yeah, and that's one
They
thing
call him the Streak.
that's actually one thing that I think they brought up is when he first was starting to use his quirk. That was a big thing because I think even Izuku mentioned, "Hey, aren't you the kid that caused the spectacle like 2 years ago because you kept on losing your clothes?"
Yeah.
Another one that they've shown to have the DNA fiber is Mount Lady.
Yeah, because her suit
'Cause
enlarges
it gotta
and
grow
shrinks
with
at
her.
the same time.
Sure. Hulk should have got some of that.
But they've actually stated
That's why he has spandex.
not a lot of heroes use it is because it's so expensive to create. I think that they need to go in with Momo, Yatsurozu, Creatrix. I think what she needs to do, because she's got the money, she can create an actual outfit out of DNA fiber.
Right.
And if you do it that way, her quirk should be able to easily phase through it without her having to show large amounts of flesh while giving her
Right.
proper protection.
But that it would kind of be hard too because she only produces it from her skin, right? So they would literally have to take probably skin samples for her instead of just hair samples because she
Well,
doesn't produce it from her hair.
No, but it's DNA,
Yeah.
so it's still hair. And not only that, but they can still create it in a similar fashion to Midnight's suit because it's a tear and repair.
Yeah. Or I think what they could do for Creati is instead of having just because in the manga itself, she's actually zipped all the way up. In the manga she's zipped up. In the anime, she has the big V neck. But what I think she could do is just have spots in her suit that are just always open. That don't really show anything. They just pop stuff out, you know.
But she also likes to create large items, which means she has to have the largest amount of,
To come out.
which is sadly enough the chest and the back.
Yeah.
Question is, could she make it if she knew the breakdown of it? Cause ain't that her power?
Actually, technically speaking, she's already stated this: is she does not create.
Living items.
No,
Oh.
well, well, she can't create living items because that's not she
You
cannot
just
create.
yeah.
But not only that is she is always been worried with her quirk about the economy. Because if
Which
she,
is why she's always under watch.
because she needs to go, there's a diamond. There's a 100% pure flawless diamond.
She just gotta know how to make it, right? Or just know the properties of it or
just-
something.
Carbon. The diamond is just carbon
And
with
though, like
heat
her
pressure.
power, she gotta
She
know
just
the
need-
makeup of it, right? She can't make something she don't know.
Yeah,
As
true,
made,
but
right?
it's easy to
Okay.
find makeup of
Right,
anything.
yeah.
That's why I feel, I know we're getting off topic, but not completely.
Right.
No.
I think, yes, she wants to be a hero, but I think she should have gone the route of
Support.
Power Loader, who is not only a hero, but is
Costume
also a
creator.
licensed support creator. With her ability, I hate to say it like this, she's a living 3D printer.
Yeah.
She'd be able to create items that are limited and that aren't fully researched. And it's like, hey, this is what you can do with it. We needed more research in it. Then all of a sudden, that market booms. You got jobs, and I know we're going off way topic, but not still.
No, about support
Well, I can
items.
bring it back in.
Yeah.
Speaking of power loaders, moving off of creating, Power Loader created Kyoka's amplifier jacks, which she uses on her wrist, that she can plug in her earphone jacks into the amplifier jack, and project her heartbeat and the sound blast, or pin to the ground to listen.
I thought she
more
just had
easily.
ones in her boots.
She has those in her boots as well, but she's always had that. But these ones she wears on her wrist now for her to upgrade her costume.
Oh.
Power Loader also created Dinky's sharpshooting gear, which is what he uses to shoot his targets off with, which was also made with Power Loader and Hatsume.
Yeah, I get the feeling May is going to take over for Power Loader in the future.
All right, so these are all Mei Hatsume's. We got Air Force gloves. Then once she showed off in the
Yeah, let's not go over every.
no, but she's got these ones called auto balancers, which would actually help Tenya because she showed them off with Tenya Ida at the sports festival.
Oh.
They
you
try to
sure?
also help Uravity too.
Yeah.
Yes, because then she could fly.
Is that so? What support item did they give? Gravity.
Gravity.
I think.
She just got.
What's some of them headphones? Right?
So she got these gauntlets now that
Yeah,
have
the grappling hooks.
have
Okay.
cables in them, right? They're not really grappling hooks. They're a cable more than anything.
Spider-Man.
Spider.
Pretty much. And she can grapple them, and they're heavy because they're probably a couple, about 80, 90 pounds, but the weight is nullable because she has 0G.
And it's actually constantly using her quirk too, so she's actually training while using them.
Oh wow.
You know, and then we got these things called here, it says Mink Gun, which Gang Orca's sidekicks use to shoot liquid cement that hardens when it hits you.
So it's a capture weapon.
Yeah, it's a capture weapon, pretty much. Which would suck. I mean, have you ever watched Grey's Anatomy? That kid that got stuck in the big vat of concrete? Pretty much what would happen in real life.
Well, probably the closest one because while they call it cement, it's probably not actual cement.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
it's probably like some
It's like probably like a
bomb. Yeah, something that just. Oh, I wonder if it's made from that stuff that's in the scarf.
nanotubes. I doubt it.
doubt it.
Yeah, they would have to.
Because
That,
because
the thing. Right?
that's a constant solid.
All right.
With this, it sounds like it's a
foamy
liquid,
and yeah.
and that goes into a solid.
All right, so that could be it.
We got this thing for another one from Midoriya called Full Gauntlet. So, Full Gauntlet is a sport item invented by Melissa Shield.
Shout
and
out
given
Melissa
to
Shield.
Izuku Midoriya.
Yep, Island movie.
And it's inspired by All Might's brute strengths. So they can withstand his incredible power in its sealed form. Which, if he had these full gauntlets from the start,
He would be unstoppable.
man, he would have
No,
saved his
because-
arms. It would have saved his arms.
They probably would have, but they've already stated that going 100%, those gauntlets only have about 3
Yeah,
shots.
he only get 3 shots. So after that third one, I mean, she probably if she get a
well, at
couple of years.
100%.
Which I actually
She give a
don't
couple.
know.
Also, you could probably use them just regularly.
When did he get these gauntlets?
You have to watch the movies, Tommy. You have to watch the
I
movie.
gotta watch the movies.
Yeah, it's-
Alright, so I will go home and watch the movies tonight. I will. Alright?
Yeah, it's the Island movie, which is the first movie.
Yep.
and there's the Rise of the Hero.
Cause ain't the Island one right after the whole UA incident?
It's right after sports festival, I think, but right before
Yeah, right before.
internships.
Okay, yeah, cause they got there from.
Or
Well,
it's-
Bakugo won the ticket for winning the sports festival. Yeah, so they got it. They was right after the sports festival.
it's either that or it's right.
No, you're right. It's right after the sports festival because everybody was there because one, Yairose, she rich, so she got to go.
Yeah, Deku won with All Might,
Either family always go because they get, you know,
but they're a legacy.
yeah. So it's like all of them got the Bakugo one, and he took armor with him.
Yeah. And then we got this one here. It's called Seven's Loud, which was used by one of the Revolutionary Army people, Koko Kanabata, which is apparently he's a government official or something. But what it does is basically it does the exact same thing as Mike's vocal thing.
Amplifier.
Just amplifies his voice, which just helps his quirk out.
So in his quirk, like the one that takes over people's minds, something like that. But that's the
His quirk or meta ability, because they call it the meta ability,
meta ability.
is ability aligns his voice with electromagnetic pulses. If someone who considers Koku a worthy leader hears his voice, then their physical and mental state will be significantly enhanced.
Okay, yeah.
So he's just support.
It's like a boot.
He is a
Yeah.
support. He's not a hero.
Support
He's a villain.
Villain.
But he is a support item himself.
Yeah. There are some support items that they've showcased that actually do nothing for combat abilities. It's all for literal supporting the person.
Oh.
In the case of All for One, you have his mask.
Right.
You have his
Was he
all of the medical equipment he has going on with.
with that mask is connected to his back or something like that?
No, the mask actually helps him see because his face is deformed,
Right.
and also helps with his respiration.
Okay.
Bakugo also have these things called improvised grenades. Around the belt of his hero costume, there are silver containers made to look like hand grenades that can store his nitroglycerin-like sweat, which can be used as regular grenades or later in times as, well,
Basically nukes. Smaller level. Smaller level.
more
smaller
like
TNT,
flash grenades.
Yeah. Oh,
But
you
you-
talking about them ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can store enough in there that could be created as a real grenade either.
Well, watch the movies.
So,
He definitely explosions. Them things ain't nothing to play with.
no, they're not. But you see it in the first couple episodes where he, during the mock battle exams they do, that All Might has to do.
Yeah.
You just got to see him showcase what happens when he unleashes a gauntlet.
Yeah. Well, he's fighting Midoriya.
All right, so I cannot wait to see this in the anime. But Bakugo has another one called Strafe Panzer. I'm guessing like a tank. So what it is a suppressive heavy mobile unit. Strafe Panzer is a retractable machine guns that can extend from the back of Katsuki's hero costume and mount over his shoulders like grenadier bracers. They use his nitroglycerin like sweat as ammunition.
So he basically just War Machine.
He is yes.
War Machine, heavy arms, however you go.
Yeah.
He is a mobile suit Gundam himself. Or a tank.
Gundam. Definitely. Which definitely suits his power. They have them. Some people support items, but his support items definitely suit his power well.
Yeah.
Make good use of him. I will admit. Wow, I'm surprised. I thought some Todoroki or something. Some type
The
of
support item that All Might used isn't quite gone into detail, but All Might notes that he
Escape.
had to get rid of it as it was hampering his movement in a short-range fighter. If All Might relied more on his abilities as a mid-range and long-range fighter, then the support item would have made more sense at the end of the day.
Want the things on his back?
Yeah,
the little
big
pack.
gold suit thingy.
That's why
Yeah,
That's
actually,
why-
All Might's suits can be classified as support items.
Yep.
They all been specially created to withstand his strength.
right, strength, yeah. Like the Golden Age suit, which is my favorite. I like the New Age one too, but Golden Age, all my something crazy.
You know, a good person to be I know we're backtracking a little, but to use the DNA fibers is what's her name? Invisible Girl.
Yes.
Yes, I was just saying that. Like I was thinking in my head.
And then she could actually have a costume.
Right, like something real.
Because she's a teenager and all she wears is gloves and shoes.
Yeah, gloves and boots. And I want to know, just throwing this out there, I don't know what company thought that was a good idea.
Right. She's a teenage girl.
Not only that, one company thought it was a good idea to have a rescue heroine, because your Rowdy's original ones wear heels.
Right.
Or why accept having a rack on your lower back for Momo's original costume?
Yeah.
All those are horrible, horrible ideas.
Horrible.
Yeah. We got smoke grenades for the hero Snipe. Smoke grenades are actually a really clever addition to Snipe's arsenal. They conceal his movements, allowing a safer transition for him or the evacuation of civilians. They can also be used to flush out enemies or countless other ideas.
Oh.
Yeah. Another support item because we really haven't touched a lot on the villains themselves, is Toga's blood drawers.
Okay, them needles.
Yeah, I don't know what they're called. But yeah, because that allows her to store multiple people's blood.
Okay, so she used them to store it. She don't just use them to inject herself and then throw away.
She may use them for that as well.
Okay.
But she can. I'm pretty sure she can use them to store the blood for later use too.
After she gets, this is what I always get confused. After she gets your blood, do she just keep your DNA forever? Like, can she change the Midori whenever, even if she don't get his blood into one of her needles?
No, I think it's a one-off.
Okay. So if she changed somebody else, she got to give Midori blood again.
Yeah, basically every time she sheds a
So yeah, Toga's support item is called blood storage apparatus, which stores different styles of blood. That way she can transform into that person.
I'm going to assume it is a black market.
Yes.
Most likely.
I'm going to assume, though, it's based off of Vlad King's support items.
Ooh,
Black King support items.
Makes sense. Ain't them just what needles that he pushing himself so he can use his blood?
I think so. Tommy's looking it up. But yes, I get the feeling they got the inspiration for that.
Most likely. We don't care. Nah, man. That's not a support item.
What?
I was gonna say counting the red dots that took away people's powers, but that's not support. That's just trying to stop them.
Are you talking about the Yakuza
Yeah.
that Eri made? Technically speaking, those could be classified as support items. Villain support items, but still support items.
Alright.
For those of
Pause it
you,
again. Are you talking?
No, we're not balls.
Okay.
yeah,
It's a podcast. They don't care.
yeah. So for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, is Tride's mentioning the bullets that Overhaul had created using
All day.
Ares' blood that would remove quarks.
Alright, technical difficulties all day long. Whatever.
Yes.
So, Vlad King's support item is called a blood ejecting glove. He wears a gauntlet that can eject and reabsorb large amounts of his own blood. That way he can use his quirk to knock people out with his
Blood.
solidified blood.
Yes. Yeah, if you guys haven't noticed, while there are some support items, more often than not, heroes, unless their quirk requires it, they really don't use support items, unless you count their suits as their support item. Like we said, All Might's suit, Endeavor's suit, and Ingenium's suits are all classified as support items because for Ingenium, it helps air resistance and to withstand the G forces
Okay.
from it, of their speed.
Right. So is them does it count the things that oh no, that's just his engines.
Are you talking about?
Yes, it's-
Remember when he was pulling it out? But that's
Yeah.
just his,
Okay,
that's
so
his
no,
genetics, right?
what you're talking about
Yeah.
is Ida's mufflers, which is a legacy quirk, I guess you could say, because it is something similar that it gets passed down through his family.
So
What he was doing is extremely. What you're talking about was he was
Tuning his engines.
no,
no,
Yes.
no.
that's what he said. That's not what he said.
What Trout's talking about is when Ida was ripping out his mufflers so they could grow back better,
Yeah.
which is extremely dangerous and could be damaging to his quirk. The fact that they show him doing it by himself in a secluded area means
He said that everybody. He said that most of them do it though to get faster. He said most of
they
everybody.
do it.
But you have to be
But is it like is it?
prepared to do it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not only that, but
Yeah.
more often than not, they probably do it under a supervised.
So it's like natural. All they fall out, new ones come in type.
No,
So you have to pull them out to get the
They
big
said they
ones.
can only do it 2 or 3 times.
And he did it like more than that.
He's done it once so far.
yeah.
Oh.
But I think the fact of the matter is they show him doing it by himself, which I'm going to assume is probably a really bad idea because it'd probably be better.
Technical difficulty.
But after that, quite a bit of the sport items we've done just far. So I think we're going to call it for today. This week we're going to have a couple episodes, so they're a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
But so far, that'll be all for today. Again, this is the anime coverage, and we're calling out.
Yep.
Colin?
Peace out.
Bye-bye.
See ya.